Hey, thanks for tuning into the podcast. And before it begins, I have a favor to ask. I'd love to hear your honest feedback about the podcast. So please call our listener line at 631-800-3579. 631-800-3579. Leave a message and let me know your thoughts. The show description also has my contact information. Okay, now on with the show. Welcome to the Long Island Sound Podcast, where we explore the muse and the music, from the North Shore to the South Shore, from New York City to the Hamptons, navigating the wellspring of original music from singer-songwriters and musicians from Long Island, New York. Hi, I'm Steve Yusko from GigDestiny.com. Stay tuned as we explore the Long Island Sound. My guest today is Tanya Popora from the original Gossip Band. Her and her cohorts were really prolific during the quarantine and produced some great rockin' songs. Let's have a listen to Getting Closer, and then we'll get right into it. Stick with us. My guest is not only a singer-songwriter, but also a superb lead vocalist for the band Original Gossip. With over 2 decades of experience performing, she certainly knows her way around the studio, also as a sound engineer, supporting her passion for original music on Long Island. Original Gossip was formed to explore the passion for rock and roll by combining the talents of Al, Aaron, Rob, and Jeff, seasoned performers rounding out the band. I'd like to welcome Tanya Purpura to the Long Island Sound podcast. Great to have you, Tanya. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Steve. Nice to see you too.
Great. So you're definitely one of those groups that fill out the Long Island Sound, certainly. And I was reading your bio, and you were lamenting the lack of original venues that do original music. And I'm right with you on there. I know a handful, but I remember when I was a younger man, all you could find was live music venues with original music. You know, there were a few covers. It was before the days of the tribute band. But it's something that I miss, and I'm glad you guys do live music and original music. It's really kind of cool. So
yeah, there's still a few venues out there that, you know, get us in there to play. So we're grateful for that.
Right. Excellent. So we heard coming in, Getting Closer. Really great tune. Want to tell me just a little bit about that? Is that a song that you wrote, or how it came about?
Yeah, we wrote that song towards the end of the pandemic lockdown, kind of like just to symbolize getting back to normalcy, you know, getting closer again, making connection with people, you know, because during that time, everybody was so, you know, separated.
Yeah, it's the reciprocal of keep your distance at 6 feet away. We're getting closer.
Exactly. But this song was more like, you know, we forgot about what that felt like, you know, holding hands, dancing close, as some of the words say.
Yeah. I remember I was with my wife, and we were at Lily Flanagan's in Babylon, and I thought it was a joke, but there was a couple people playing under the tent at the time, early in when we were starting to get back out. And a bouncer came up to us and said, "I'm sorry, you can't dance." And I was like, "Holy cow!" It's just
it was a rough time there for all musicians because, you know, we tried rehearsing via Zoom and via internet, and it was just impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so we wrote a lot of music during that time.
So now, when it comes to writing music, are you the main songwriter? Is it more of a collaborative effort with the group? How do you approach it?
Some of the songs were written singly, you know, but most of the songs we write together collaboratively with the other members, and we all have our parts, you know. Sometimes I'll just write lyrics. Sometimes I may come up with a melody or a guitar part that I'll show my guitarist, and then he'll take it a little further. And pretty much that's what it's about.
All right, that's
just working together.
So it's really a band effort, which is great.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, the approach on that. Do the other members bring any of their own songs in and kind of complete and say, "Hey, I want to try this," or is it more of a sit-down group?
Well, it's funny because about 3 years ago, I joined the band, so they had a lot of songs. I had a lot of songs, so we put a lot of them together. And we play both. And now recently, I'd say over the last year and a half to 2 years, we've been collaboratively writing as a band.
Wow.
So it's good. It's a good team effort all the time.
So did you know the guys before you actually joined the band, or it was just circumstance that they found you?
I had an ad looking for original musicians.
Okay.
They were looking for a singer. They saw my ad. They called me. And the rest is history.
Wow. You know what is? I always digest my guest music for a couple of hours. I kind of drill down, and I'm always interested to even take it further. You can't really get a full grasp of a band within a couple of days. You know, I remember the days when we'd get an album, and when they used to have albums, just albums. Man, we'd go through that album till we wore the needle out on the record player.
Oh,
you know, just really, really kind of taking in. So one of the things that came to mind with your sound, it was almost like an Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses vibe to it, and
really?
a Pat Benatar vibe to it. That was just kind of my first impressions. Very rocky, rock and roll. I mean, in a great way, in more of an anthem sound, which is kind of cool.
Well, I mean, Pat Benatar was a big influence.
Okay.
In my life. I mean, really, I had every album singing in my bedroom with the hairbrush, the whole bit.
Right. That's great. So what other influences did you have? Would you gravitate towards as early in your career?
I liked the classic rock. I enjoyed Pat Benatar, obviously, Heart.
Oh, sure.
There was a Melissa Etheridge phase that I went through. I did like the heavier stuff, like the Guns N' Roses and, stuff like that.
That's not easy to pull off, to be honest with you. I mean, you really have to, my opinion, this is from a knucklehead who sings horribly, I sing okay. But you really have to have a trained voice to pull that stuff off, especially night after night or, gigging around, Thank God there's no more smoking in bars anymore. That must
forget it. That was a killer.
What was your first foray into singing in public?
I think I was about 18. I joined my first band. We were called Desire.
Okay.
And I was a girl singer. We actually had a girl drummer too.
Oh, nice.
And we played the Salty Dog in Huntington. I don't know if you remember that place.
I sure do. Down New York Avenue, just north of Main Street. I was in there when I was 16.
That was like a home base over there.
Oh, great place.
Yeah. And we did a lot of stuff. We did Joan Jett. We did the Ramones. We did Pat Benatar. We did actually a little punk stuff, Missing Persons.
Oh, sure.
Heart. Yeah. So we did the whole cover scene back then.
Right.
And then I would say probably in my late 20s, I probably got more into original music and got into an original band, and that was it.
What I always found interesting about singer-songwriters is that moment that you say, "Hey, I got an idea and I can do this." Now let's kind of reel it back a little bit. Did you pick up an instrument as a younger child, or?
Yeah, I did. I played piano for a while. I played guitar. I was in band in school. I played the clarinet. I played the flute. I played the bass clarinet.
All right.
Yeah, I gravitated more towards the guitar. I'm not a great guitar player by no means, but at least I could write a song. So
sure. All right. So it's a means to an end.
Exactly.
So having that diversity of instruments is kind of cool because you certainly get an ear. You start training your ear early to wind instruments and strumming and stuff like that. And have you ever used the piano to write, or is it really the guitar your go-to? I
go to more the guitar than the piano.
Oh, cool. That's really neat. So what's interesting, it's a relatively young band, right? Just before the pandemic?
Well, I think we got together in 2019.
Oh, wow.
We had a great, it was like 3 years. So we started in 2019 and we played a lot that year. And then when 2020 hit, it all went down.
It was it was the shutdown.
That was it.
And a couple things can happen. Either, I saw a lot of people get really creative online and doing like porch singing and stuff like that with the tip cup out. And if it's to make your living, man, it was a big struggle.
Yeah, it was a big struggle. I mean, we were going really good the first year. We had a lot of gigs and it was great. Mm-hmm. And then the pandemic hit and then it was nothing. And two things could happen. You could either stay together or you break up, because a lot of bands broke up during that time. Yeah.
Because I know when things were starting to open up, different venues like, okay, we can have a duo or a single act, but we can't have a band,
right.
That sort of thing. And well, thank God we're over the hump with that, And you know what, I would think with the amount of experience you guys have in your band that you're somewhat of a known quantity through the different musicians you have in your band to get gigs.
Yeah.
Because that's, go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
kind of
no, we get gigs, believe it or not. Being a all original band, everyone was kind of, oh, you're never going to get a gig, but we do pretty good.
yeah. I saw that
Yeah.
you played the Bitter End in Manhattan, right?
Yeah, we
And
played there twice. We played Rockwood in Manhattan. We're booked all the way now till October.
oh, good for you.
You
That's
know,
great. But you
yes.
play some of the Patch Rock venues as well.
Well, we did a virtual live thing out of 89 North.
Okay.
I think that was in 2020, maybe. Yeah, when they were doing like virtual concerts and stuff. So we did one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it back then. We played in my backyard because there was nothing else open.
Right. Right. You get creative and you do what you have to do. Why don't we do this? Let's take a quick break. And when we get back, what I found very intriguing was your studio engineering or mixing experience. I want to talk about that because
Sure.
I think that'll be interesting to our audience. Hey, we'll be right back, everybody. Hang with us.
Hey there, this is Jeff, the owner of Murphy's Music, located at 447 Walt Whitman Road in Melville, New York. We are your one-stop shop for all your music needs. We buy, sell, and trade instruments, amps, effects, and more. Murphy's Music also provides full-service repairs on most instruments and amplifiers, all at the lowest prices and with the fastest turnaround time. We also provide professional music lessons on all instruments, including voice, and we provide all school instrument rentals. So come on down and find out why Murphy's Music is Long Island's premier music shop. Give us a call today, 631-549-4510. We'll see you there.
Hey, we're back with Tanya from the original Gossip Band, and we were chatting during the break about female leads in rock and roll. And my assumption is it's probably not that easy. And how do you handle it? How do you handle the boys, I guess?
Well, you become one of the boys, really.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really get offended by, guy talk or jokes. I'm pretty just like one of the guys, when I'm with the band. I don't really let it get to me. I want to be created, be like an equal with them.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you
I don't want them to tiptoe around me.
Yeah, I assume you got to be assertive. You got to, say your mind and be kind of a fierce aspect of things, because to me, a female lead in a rock and roll band is really something special because of the range of your voice and what you can bring and how you can express your music. It really,
Right.
I mean, there's some guys that can do it well, some not so well.
Yeah.
So I think it's just you're a valuable asset to the group, and I guess you got to be one of the guys, so to speak.
Sure. Got to have a little confidence.
Hey, to get in front of a microphone in front of a bunch of people is takes a lot of confidence. You're jumping in, So
Exactly.
A lot of kudos to you on that. The other thing that I found interesting was your experience in the studio. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? How did that come about?
Well, I was always recording, whether it was with cassette or a little Tascam, 4-track thing.
Sure, I remember that.
So I was always interested in it. And there was a studio up in Deer Park called Lobo Studios.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
It was on Deer Park Ave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on Deer Park Ave. No one really knew about it. Like there was, you didn't know it was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went in there one day and I was just like, I want to intern here. I want to learn. And there was this guy, Phil Chahori, which I still work with him. He mixes and masters all our stuff.
Oh, great.
And he works too locally out of his home like we do.
Mm-hmm.
He took me under his wing, and I just learned everything, from drum setup to studio setup, everything,
That's amazing. I tell you, even, I'm more of a techie person. Just, I like playing with the toys, so to speak. And even with this podcast, this is a relatively young podcast from January. I had to learn how to mix everything in post. I use Audacity because it's free.
Yes.
And I was fortunate enough to run into some studio people who would call me and say, hey, try this, try that. YouTube was great, to try and figure out.
Yeah.
Down from my microphone to my first episodes were, hey, it just sounded like, to me, I'm very critical, it was like crappy. And my friend Mike Nugent said, it's not your microphone, it's your room. You gotta soundproof the room a little bit. And he gave me some sound panels, and I did the old moving blankets from Harbor Freight.
Sure, I do too.
and that works, the windows are blacked out, but and you get it, and you learn. I'll tell you a quick story. I was doing one the other night, and I looked to my left, and I went, "Holy crap! The air conditioner's on. It's like 2 feet away." I'm like, "Son of a bitch!" It's like 20 minutes of sound. You know what? It filtered right out. It was unbelievable.
Got lucky.
Yeah, tell me about it. And I always remember to hit record, so I'm pretty good with that now too. So if there was a mistake to make early on, I've made it. But it's really good that you have that background, So I think that trains your ear in another way. And if you have people that are willing to say, hey, hey, try this, or did you hear that? Why don't we do this? And that kind of opens up, at least to me, another creative experience, because you're listening for things that I would say the amateur or the novice wouldn't have,
Well, it's pretty funny because we record in my house. I have a recording studio in the basement, and it's funny because I hear everything. I hear the littlest noise, the littlest click on a track, and the guys are like, "What are you talking about? We don't hear it." I'm like, "No, it's there." Or someone's talking. I'm like, "I hear someone who was talking during the take."
Yeah,
I can hear it. Yeah,
you get it. And it's funny. You can actually get down. At least for me. So one of my pet peeves are stopgaps. Ums and ahs, and that's part of us just speaking. Sometimes it can be kind of kooky. I can get to the point where I can look at the waveform and go, there's an right there. Before I see it, and you work it out, but it's got to sound natural. It's got to sound like a flow of conversation,
Yeah. But the studio stuff is fun. I mean, I love it. I like watching the evolve of the song, come to life.
Sure. So what program do you use, if you don't mind me asking?
I use Presonus.
Presonus, okay.
Yes.
There's Cubase and
Pro Tools, Logic. We Phil used to use Logic, but then we got into the Presonus end of it, so we all got the same program. This way, we could transfer files back and forth, upload sessions, and it's easier.
Right.
So we all have basically the same program that we use, and it was a little bit of a learning curve because for a while we used Sonar. Okay. And I was always used to Pro Tools. So Presonus is a lot like Pro Tools to me. Right. It works about the same way.
Yeah, it's learning how to ride a different bicycle,
and once you learn it,
Yeah, you got it down. It's almost it's almost pretty natural. So you'll lay down the tracks and Phil will do the mixing of the song, the final mix and stuff like that. So it's good to have those other ears on things. Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's great, he's a great guy.
Nice. Good to work with. All right, that's cool. Yeah. Let's talk about Above Water. I think that's the song that actually is going to be premiering, right?
Yes, July 12th. Yeah,
so
July
this is 12th. An exclusive. I love this. This is like a newscast. So I'm getting the exclusive, and this episode should be out and live around the 12th, day before my birthday.
July 12th, yeah.
All right. July 13th, my birthday. Just letting you know.
Happy birthday. Early.
Yeah. So tell us about Above Water, and then we'll have a listen to it for the group.
Above Water is basically a song about staying above all the static. Okay. It could be a relationship. It could be a friends. It could be someone that's done you wrong, but you stay above water. And there's a line in there, say what you mean, believe what you see. Not everybody says what they mean.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You could tell more by what you see.
Cool. And this is one that you wrote?
Yes. Me and Al, the guitarist. And, the band definitely contributed, their parts in it musically. Great. Absolutely.
Nice. All right. So let's take a listen to Above Water. And we'll be right back after the song. Enjoy, everyone. Hey, everybody. We're back with Tanya from the original Gossip Band. It's a real rockin' band that really started before the pandemic. They found each other, original music, and really bringing the Long Island sound all around Long Island. So, Tanya, really, by the way, the song was great, Above Water.
Thank you.
It kind of speaks to where we need to be and, not sweat the small stuff and just – you'll do well if you just keep your head above water,
Exactly.
So thank you for that. So what do you got? You said you're booked through October, which is great. Where are some of the places you're going to be playing?
Well, on July 8th, we'll be at Finley's on Green Street in Huntington.
Yeah, great place.
From 8 to 11.
All righty.
So that's a big night for us. July 16th, we'll be at Connolly's in New York City.
Oh,
at 9 o'clock in Times Square.
That's the Irish place with the rooftop bar. And
yes.
I'm not kidding you. That's my family's one of our favorite places when we go into the city.
Well, we hope to see you there on the 16th.
Yeah. we take the long staircase up and, it definitely creates a desire to have a couple of beers after that long walk, but it's a great place. Yeah.
And then we'll be back at Finley's August 19th again. And then September 30th, we have our album release show over at Roslyn Cellar.
Okay.
I got involved with East Coast Rocker album that's coming out we're going to have CDs for that. It's with a bunch of local artists from Long Island, you know, a East Coast Rockers album. So it's like a compilation album. So we're part of that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and that's kicking off September 30th, hopefully.
Nice.
And then October, we'll be out in Jamesport Farm Brewery.
Oh, wonderful.
For the day, yeah.
All right, so you're all over the place. Hey, we definitely got to talk about this story because that kind of jumped out at me. I went to your private page. Tell me about Richie Blackmore.
Well, Richie Blackmore was in Lobo Studios, and
from Deep Purple for those.
Yeah, from Deep Purple, and I sat right next to him. And
what the heck was he doing there? Would he get lost?
We were recording. He does that whole medieval kind of, Renaissance music there.
Okay.
With his wife, and it was great. It was a great experience. He's a really nice guy, really down to earth.
Regular guy.
Yeah, just a regular guy, making music like all of us.
Nice. Now, what brought him to Long Island? Does he live somewhere around the island, or?
I think so. I'm not really sure.
All right. So if you have his number, give him a call.
Sure.
And next time you talk to him, ask him, come on the Long Island Sound.
Can you get on the show? Sure.
Yeah. We'll rejuvenate his career, sell more CDs.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool when you can, and you're kind of in that genre too, that rock genre. To meet somebody like that is pretty neat. So did you sing with him, or you just happened to be in the studio?
No, we were in the studio. Phil was engineering for him. I was just assisting that day. He was in there like a week, and I was just assisting, and it was great.
Now, the other thing, and I want to put a plug in for one of the guys is the owner of Murphy's Music, right?
Yes, Jeff,
in Melville?
our bass player. Yes.
Okay. So we got to put a plug in for Murphy's Music. It's right on 110. It's Melville or Huntington area.
Right, Melville, yeah.
It's a nice little shot. Now he'll be happy. Okay. And he didn't even ask us.
Yeah, actually, that's very good. That's very nice of you, actually. Yeah, Murphy's is a great place, great little music store there.
Yeah, if he wants to sponsor a great podcast, I'm just saying, if he wants to talk, that possible.
Absolutely.
That possibility is there. Next time we got to get the rest of the guys in and have them on the podcast too.
Sure.
Unless they're shy guys and they just play music and you're the front person. I don't know.
That would be fun, actually.
But can we control it and make it plausible for the audience?
Yeah, it may be a little too fun.
It sounds like you have a great band there. It sounds like it's pretty cool.
We're all pretty well grounded. We're all out there for the same goal. We just want to make good music, get it heard. Play, and that's it.
Put it out there. So a couple of guys, were they in bands together, or was this just a different collaboration and they all kind of came together the past couple of years?
Aaron and Al know each other for like 35, 40 years.
Okay.
They were collaborating together for a very long time. The drummer, Rob, he came into the band with them, played for a while, then went off to school, then came back, got involved with them again, and had a few bass players over the years come and go, and just maybe less than a year ago, we found Jeff, which is good. He joined the band, and so he's the newest member. He's the baby.
Okay, you got to break him in.
Yeah.
He'll be ready in a couple of years.
Yeah, but it's been good. It's been a nice ride so far.
That's great. Now, so tell me about, do you have the name of the album that you're going to be releasing on I saw that little teaser video, that 20-second video you did where you're strumming, I think the Above Water song, the intro to that. Do you have a name for the album yet?
Well, we have a single coming out, Above Water.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're going to be on that compilation album, the East Coast Rockers album, that's coming out soon. And it's a project that is featuring Joey Gem 316, this girl, Susan Aquila. She's a classical violinist.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, she's in a collaboration with him right now. And they put together this East Coast Rockers album. So
now, are they from the different parts of the East Coast?
Yes,
or local?
I think different parts of the East Coast.
That's neat. That's neat.
So that'll be cool. Yeah.
Got to get them on the podcast. That'd be an interesting story of how it comes together.
Yeah.
It's like a collaborative effort to get everybody a little piece of exposure out there.
Exactly.
And that's what we try to do. That's what we try to do here on the podcast, is really give you singer-songwriters, original singer-songwriters, a new platform to expose your music. And it really came out of an idea where, my wife and I, Debbie and I, love seeing live music. And as I'm listening to the music, I'm like, I wonder what their story is,
Yeah.
And, if I'm sure you get people have too many cocktails and come up and start talking to you in the middle of a set, or try to have these in-depth 2-minute conversations. So maybe this is the platform to find out more about you and how you approach things. So
it's just, we practice, a lot, and we do a lot on our own. It's very important to kind of hone in on your craft on your own time.
Sure.
So this way, when you do get together with the band, everybody knows what they're doing.
Now let me ask you this: are you purposeful about songwriting in that, just you personally? Because I know you collaborate with everybody, but do you say you sit down? Okay, I'm going to write a song. Does the muse hit you and you collect different things on your phone? What's your process? I'm curious about that.
My process is usually, I write a lot from experience, from what I see, what I feel at the time. Mm-hmm. We have a new song that we're working on. I'm not sure when we're going to record it, but it's called Faces of You. Mm-hmm. And it was actually written for my mom.
Oh, wow.
And the day she passed away, it was sunrise. And the song just came to me like Faces of You, sunrise, sunset. It was just the lyrics on it, just mean it's deep for me,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And It's a rock song, so she'd be very happy.
Well, so mom was a rocker. All right.
It's a rock song, so, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how it's different events kind of hit you and, when it hits you. And what I really love about singer-songwriters like yourself, you act on it. A lot of us have the muse that hit us, and I could hand you my phone and show hundreds of ideas. But I'm too busy with the podcast to actually sit down and write a song,
Well, we have a song out there, a video too on YouTube, Frontliners. We wrote that actually during the pandemic. We were all stuck home. So we were like, we have to do something. Right. And the guys came up with music. They sent it to me. I came up with lyrics. We recorded it. And that's out there. And it was in dedication to all the frontliners. Nice. My whole family, my husband was a fireman. My son's a fireman in the city. My daughter's a nurse.
Oh, boy.
They're volunteers at the local fire station, all my kids. So, it meant something. They're all in the video. So make sure you go check that out.
Oh, that is. Well, it's definitely going to be in the chapter marks for sure. So that's great. It's good that, you recognize, and it's all from personal experience,
Yeah.
The unsung heroes. And I have a couple of cousins who work in hospitals, and the stories they told me were just heartbreaking, and the hours that they put in, and thank God for our frontline workers, our healthcare workers, firemen, first responders, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
It's, where would we be without them?
It was absolutely rough. Definitely rough. Yeah.
So let's talk about the third song that you brought to the table, Driving to the End. Tell me how that came about, and then we'll take a listen to that.
Well, Driving to the End is definitely what it says. Driving to the end, you're.
So it's a song about death? What is it?
Driving to the end, 9 to 5 jobs, just every day, the same thing, going to work, coming home, the rat race, it speaks volumes,
Especially for us from Long Island.
Exactly.
When we get visitors, they're like, why the hell do you live here? You got taxes and you got traffic. Yeah, well, we got the beach. We got other things too, but it can be.
We just finished the video for that. That's up on it. We do all our own video stuff too. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I'm like the video editor and,
marketer, right? You're the marketer and social media person and all in one.
You just have to do it. You got to be well-rounded because you have to be able to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting when you talk about that, and particularly with social media. Like, I never did a TikTok video until I did the podcast, because in looking to people who market podcasts, they say you better put up a TikTok video that's anywhere. They want it to be 7 seconds, believe it or not, to catch somebody to not more than 30. And I've done a few, and it's kind of funny when I looked at it, I'm like, holy crap, there's 750 hits on this particular one. And I have no idea why one had more hits than the other.
We tried doing TikTok. We're not too successful at it. I don't know why.
Well,
we have to get into that again.
Have you heard of Canva?
No.
Okay, got to look up Canva. My daughter Faith told me about it. Canva, Canva. It's kind of an all-in-one. It's got a free platform aspect to it, but you can do videos, business cards, you name it. And a lot of people share a lot of artwork that they've already created. So we'll talk about that offline, but that's, I use that a lot for a lot of stuff. I do album artwork for each episode they put up there. So I take people's pictures and stuff. I mean, believe me, I was a kid with a coloring book that I could be in the coloring book all day long, but I gotta make a living. But Canva was, hey, I'm doing a plug for Canva. Maybe I can get Canva to
maybe they'll sponsor you.
You never know. You never know where it's going to be. So why don't we jump into this? Let's hear Driving to the End. We'll be right back after the song. Check it out, everyone.
Wake up, 10 to 6. Grab my caffeine fix.
everybody. We're back with Tanya from the original Gossip Band. Tanya's by herself because all the fellas were too chicken to show up on the podcast. So I'm just saying.
Now you're going to get me in trouble.
No. I'm going to see you in the future. I'm going to come in and I'm going to get punched in the face by one of the guys saying, I can't believe you said that. So I just want to make sure we cover some of the other places that you're going to be playing in the very near future.
Yeah, we'll be at Paradise Studios in Massapequa July 21st, 8 to 9, just a little hour set over there.
Yeah, that's a nice little studio that's right by the on the north side by the Massapequa train station, right around the corner from CVS. And they do podcasts and other things there. It's a pretty cool little joint, as they say. So
yeah. And just, make sure everyone goes check out our website. We got a lot of shows coming up here on Long Island.
All right. So what's the website?
It's originalgossipband.com.
Oh, that's pretty easy. All right, good. And what we'll do is we'll also list any of your events on the Gig Destiny site. So there'll be a link to any of your live stuff. And I wish you guys so much success. I mean, you got really some nice music.
Thank you.
You've got original music, and we need more bands that are passionate about live music on Long Island. They're out there. It's the venue owners that we've got to convince that, hey, this is a good way to support your business and music at the same time. So
yeah, absolutely.
So again, thanks so much, Tanya, for being with us. I look forward to seeing you guys live and about Long Island. And have a great evening. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve, for having us.
All right. Be well. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate the time you spent with us. Please subscribe and comment and visit us at gigdestiny.com. Till next time, be generous with your joy, keep your spirits high, and let the music take you on a journey. Be well. Peace. Thank you for listening, and please support our musicians. If you like the podcast, please rate, comment, and subscribe. If you want to partner with us, visit gigdestiny.com. Hit that donate button. We appreciate your support to keep the conversation alive. Take care. Be well.